The next item on our agenda is to recognize the new volunteer program in the police department and kick off the new Citizens on Patrol program. Chief Coulon.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, thank you for having me. I'm going to introduce Sergeant Jay Goodson. He's the sergeant that, it's all his fault is the way I like to say it, but actually he's the one responsible. Part of community policing is not just having a police department that gets involved with the community and takes on the ownership role of being guardians of the community, but it's also having the community come into the police department. And so we've been able to start up some pretty exciting programs. They're really up and running right now, so we wanted to introduce you to a couple of them. And as you can see, we have a couple cars out here. Those are actually Citizens on Patrol now. So I'm going to give it over to Sergeant Goodson. He's going to introduce our volunteer groups for you guys.
Thank you, Chief. Thanks for having us. That was a great prayer, by the way. I appreciate that. So Chief Coulon envisioned putting together a volunteer organization that we didn't have when he got here. And it's really...
For the microphone.
What's that?
Or grab the handheld one right there in the middle.
Otherwise, they won't be able to hear you on feed.
I promise I won't sing. Is that it?
It's on.
So Chief Coulon envisioned when he got here starting a volunteer and policing type organization. We didn't have anything like that. We had an alumni association that was just kind of getting started. And so he envisioned putting this together to allow our citizens an opportunity to not only serve their community, but lock arms with us and partner with us so that they could join us in certain things that I'll go over here in a minute that they do when they're out on the street. And they've been a tremendous help, and we are excited to have them here. As he said, there's a couple cars out there that we outfitted. They use those. They come in several times a week, and I'll explain that a little bit more. And they do all kinds of things. Typically, there's two of them in a car. And they'll go out and do things like provide assistance to officers on impounds. They'll be seen. So the visual patrolling that they do out in your neighborhood also deters crime. They're helping us sometimes search for evidence if we have a major crime, which they've gotten to experience, and that was a neat thing for them. So volunteers in policing, VIP. We also have a CPAA organization. So twice a year, we have a CPAA group that gets together for 10 weeks. We do things like go to the gun range. We show them how to drive. They show them how to work accidents and things of that nature. And once they complete that and graduate from that program, then they are eligible to enroll into our VIP program. So all of them get to know each other and build a relationship with not only themselves but us, and then we're able to use them in this VIP program. We also have a CPAA alumni program, which we are really trying to get them really heavily involved in fundraising that's going to help the city. They've done a great job. We have two out there that are exceptionally great at that, and we're excited about some of the things that you're going to be able to see here in the near future that they're doing. So let's introduce them. Come on in, guys. I thought that was great. I mean, I just couldn't resist. How you doing? Young lady? We stopped that with you, John. Don't worry. How are you? Hi. Hey, girl. John, how are you? So what an amazing group. What do you guys think about this? Let's give them a hand. Thank you all for being here. So Officer Brian Lee, why don't you come up here too, sir? He was tasked by Chief Coulon to put this together, worked on it for about 4 to 6 months, and has done a tremendous job putting this together. We birthed this from pretty much scratch, so we've had a few roadblocks and a few small bumps, but you guys have been tremendous and very helpful, and we're so honored to have you, partnership with the department and the city, and what amazing things you guys have in store, and what amazing things that you've already done so far. So we thank you for what you've done. Some of the things that they do and that they've already been exposed to is parade assistance, drug take back, So we have some drug containers that people bring, for instance, prescriptions that are expired that they don't want anymore, that you don't want to flush down the toilet, throw in the trash. They put those in these containers, and they get to drive these to the ATF office in Dallas, and they are destroyed there. So that's one thing that you probably didn't even know occurred in our city. So that's just one of the things they've done. Sallyport cleanup. The Sallyport's where we bring in a lot of our prisoners into the entrance in the jail, and they actually clean that up for us, power wash the floor before an event that we had in some training. So that was a tremendous help. They decided to cook barbecue for the officers that were on duty one night, and so builds morale and those kind of things. They absolutely love that. Actually ate all the food. There were no leftovers. The Adopt a Cop program, two of these young ladies behind me have developed a program that allows us, while on duty, to be able to go to a place and eat and relax, and it is provided by citizens in our city. So it's an amazing, amazing organization. And they are not stopping these two. Who knows what they've got planned for us in the future. Assisting in the Records Division, Professional Standards Division, the Criminal Investigative Division, which I said we had a robbery not long ago and we were missing a weapon, obviously an extremely important piece of evidence. And we were out doing some training on how to drive when that call came out. So we stopped training, went to this crime scene, and they were actually used to search the area looking for a weapon. So a big help. Assisting in the jail with all kinds of paperwork and things of that nature. And then National Night Out that we just had, I think was there 14 of us? And we couldn't have done it without them. We had so many things going on. We had officers that were trying to go to every block party, and we couldn't be everywhere at once, and they were an awesome help. Vacation house watches, so when you guys go out of town and you want us to watch your house, they can help with those things. Crossing guards, sometimes we have crossing guards that have issues that need immediate attention, and we need somebody to fill that spot so that kids can cross safely from school. They can help with that. Stranded motorists, vehicle crash scenes. Oftentimes when we get to a crash scene at 121 in Maine on a rollover, it's chaos. And it's all we can do to have 2 or 3 officers there just trying to figure out how to safely establish that scene. We need somebody to help direct traffic, and we can't do that. So we get to call them, and they help us with that as well. Vehicle impounds, if an officer makes an arrest, typically you have a belligerent person in your back car for 20 minutes while you're waiting for a wrecker to show up at 2 o'clock in the morning. We no longer have to do that now that we have them to wait for that impound. They know how to do the paperwork so that we can get that person straight to jail and nobody else gets hurt or injured. So that's an extreme help. And then obviously proactive visibility that deters crime. Those facts are accurate and true. Total volunteer hours to date, 1,000 hours or $27,000 that didn't have to be paid because they were willing to volunteer and donate their time for free. So we thank you guys so much for what you're doing. We're excited about what is in store, and thank y'all for being here. Can we give them a hand again? And one last thing. We got them a website that you could probably describe better than I, but I'm going to do my best. This is a website that tracks the hours that they put in to the city. It also has a portal, a member portal, that you can sign on, and if they, for instance, were trained on how to properly do traffic control, we can print out a certificate or log that training in so that if we need somebody for a special event or traffic control, we can log on there and see who's been certified and trained for that. So it tracks all of the training hours, all the training certificates. It allows them to communicate with one another. So if they have a meeting, as you see on that top left, if there's a meeting that's coming up, you no longer have to call people. Everybody can go to that and get all that information. So it's a very valuable tool, and it's something new that's getting started, and it's got some great possibilities. So we're excited about that too. Chief, I think you're up.
Oh, I appreciate that, Sergeant Goodson, and of course, here's our 2 movie stars in their throwback uniforms today. So they really helped run it. So thank y'all very much. Okay, y'all can sit down now.
You ready?
It's fine. It's good Good to see y'all. Good to see you. It's a little bigger than the police department now, y'all know that, right? And y'all are better looking. Thanks. Hey. Hey, guys. I'm doing that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is about leadership and leadership from our chief of police and his officers getting out there and interacting with our citizens. Since Dave Coulon arrived here, he has done nothing but look at our community and try to look for ways to improve it, get involved with, everybody in town. You have been a godsend to us, and we are so glad that you are here, and then the training that you are giving your officers, and it shows with projects just like this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.